Seems like things are just taking a turn for the worse ever since Doctor Strange. And it's not going to end anytime soon. Actually, that's not true. There's only 2 more movies left. I'm almost free. The Black Panther. So shortly after the events of Captain America Civil War, Prince T'Challa has to go back home to Wakanda to become King T'Challa because his father, King T'Chaka, was killed in Civil War by Baron Zemo. Keeping up? Good. He's not emotionally ready to be king yet. He hasn't really come to terms with his new destiny, but he steps up and he accepts his fate regardless, like a true king would. However, shortly after becoming king, with hardly a hitch, he learns that his arch nemesis, Ulysses Claw, is still in business, so he has to go and get him, and he does. Also, mostly without a hitch. But, as it turns out, Ulysses wasn't working alone because he's got a partner named Eric Killmonger. And he is the cousin of T'Challa, basically. His father is King T'Chaka's brother. And he was killed because of some treachery, and he was being a traitor to the homeland, and he was stealing vibranium to try to empower people. So Eric decides, I'm going to continue that. I'm going to liberate my dark-colored brothers and sisters across this planet. But only after I admit that I killed some of them in Africa, just so I could kill my cousin and become king of Wakanda, so I could use all the vibranium in the world to kill all the white people. Colonizers, they like to call them in this movie. But when he finds out that his father was lying to him, T'Challa realizes that maybe he doesn't want to be a king just the same way that his father was. Maybe he wants to learn a little from both his father and from Killmonger and devise his own way of being king and go forward that way. And that's kind of an interesting thing for the character. It just takes a little too long to get there because of all the other things that are happening. I want to say there's some things I really like about this movie. I feel like everybody gives a solid performance. Everybody was perfectly cast except for Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. I know. But I've seen Creed, I've seen Fantastic, I've seen Fruitvale Station, I've seen Friday Night Lights. It's awkward for me to see Michael B. Jordan be so angry and, like, kill white people. Because it doesn't work for him as an actor. It's not his thing. I've also seen him in Kin and Fahrenheit 451, and goodness golly, were those terrible. I also like the music and the set design in this movie, and the costume design whenever there's actual costumes. I feel like Black Panther's suit from Civil War that he wears at the very beginning of this movie is the only suit he's going to wear that I'm actually going to like. I'm really not a fan of the purple energy one. It's just, it's too busy, and it's too lame, really. Like, I know it's got like Wakandan symbols in it to show where the energy is building up, but it's just like, I just want the one that he was wearing last time. That's all I need. I don't need Wakandan symbols on the suit. It's not exactly necessary. But what I don't like is the almost everything else. For one thing, CGI really falls apart in the end, which is why I say stop using CGI for everything that you do in the movie. But also, this movie was not seen as a movie for some reason. It was seen as some sort of cultural movement, some sort of like woke phenomenon, so that black people could feel empowered, like they finally have a superhero that looks like us, and because of that, that's the character that we should like. When, honestly, I don't care what color a character is. If they're a good character, I like them. Daredevil, Captain America, Spider-Man, the Green Arrow, the Flash, the Green Lantern, all white, but very interesting characters regardless, and so I like them. Luke Skywalker. I like Lando Calrissian. He's just not the main character of Star Wars, so he doesn't matter that much. And I say stuff like this all the time. Make sure that you put the story and the movie and the elements therein ahead of your message, ahead of your agenda. Representation should not come before storytelling. And that's how a lot of people end up getting screwed up in these situations. That's why Captain Marvel had this huge controversy around it, because they were like, women, and it's just like, story. And after all of that stuff started happening, whenever I would watch it after that, I would see a moment and realize that's what people were talking about, and it would start to bring down my overall enjoyment of the movie. And so, while I would once have said that the movie was worth buying on Blu-ray, now I'm stuck saying it's good, but unless you're an analyst or a woke black person, you probably won't remember it in a couple days. So, Black Panther, I'm sure you've seen it. This is like the 3rd video I've made about it. What do you think about it? Whatever does everything comment below and educate me. Actually, this is the 4th video I've made about it, but the first time I've actually reviewed it. So, We'll see how people feel about me after this. How many of you are going to unsubscribe?